Okay, welcome back to Just an Introvert podcast. I'm Amy,
And I'm Abbie.
and we are back.
We
Uh,
are.
we had an awesome interview summer. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah, we did quite a few of them in June, and then we're able to release them in July, and it was a lot of fun. I don't know,
It
what did you
was.
think, Abby?
Oh, it was great. It was very nerve-wracking because felt like I had no idea what I was doing. Because we've interviewed a bunch of family and people that we know, but interviewing, I had not met any of the people. So that was like a very like stressful because I'm just like, I don't know. And then just communicating over Zoom, you're like, oh, but all of them ended up going great. So it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just fun. I would say everybody kind of had a different personality,
Hmm.
and it just, yeah, I thought it was I learned a lot
Yeah.
by interviewing, and I just think each time we do it, get a little better at it. And
Yep.
I know I made my family, well, Niles and Alex, we did a lot of driving this summer between hiking and taking Alex to college. And so they, of course, got to listen to the interviews with me, and
Yeah.
they really enjoyed it. So it was a lot of
Good, good.
fun. So thank you to our guests who came on.
Yes.
So, but now we're
I was
back.
gonna say now you're stuck with just us, so.
That's right. That's right. But anyway, so let's get things going with an icebreaker. So, what have you got for us?
All right, my icebreaker is what was your favorite part about summer? Because I feel like we did some regular recording early in the summer and then did all the interviews. So we've caught up, but I thought you could catch everyone up. What was your highlight of your summer?
Okay, well, I feel like I did a lot this summer.
You did.
Um, trying to remember all the things. I think the biggest thing is we did a road trip to Yellowstone, just the four of us, Niles, Riley, and Alex and I. Niles and I drove there, and then Riley and Alex a few days later flew in to meet us. It's nice that they're old enough and they can do that. And everybody was happy because I think they were not real into the long road trip,
Mhm.
and then we were able to take some of their luggage so they could just
Mm.
bring a carry-on. But anyway, we did have some car trouble there. But besides that, it was super fun to just hang out and go to places that we've been before, but the kids were little and didn't quite
Right.
appreciate it. And this time it was just really neat to see it through their eyes at their age now.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. That was probably the main thing. And then we well, before Alex, we took him to college in Oklahoma. He's been wanting to do a lot of hikes, so we did a lot of hiking each week, and so that was a lot of fun. Niles, Alex, and I did some of that, and then we ended with doing a road trip to Oklahoma to take Alex to. He's going to college there at Oklahoma University, and that was bittersweet. It was a little emotional to say goodbye to him, but he's happy, he's doing well, and he's living with our best friends, and their son is his best friend, and they're going to go to college together. So he's in great hands, and it's great. I think the hardest part was doing the rigorous drive home, and then the next day jumping into teaching.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost recovered, and that was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. That's a
The
lot.
older I get, the harder this stuff is
Yep.
to bounce back from. But anyway, so
Yeah.
that was my summer. So how about you?
Yeah. I feel like we did a lot in the month of July. I feel like June we do swim lessons for my kids, so June is usually like it's a every day for 4 weeks kind of a thing. So I feel like
Mhm.
that just takes over and we do little things here and there. But July we did a lot. I think my absolute highlight was going to see Kesha in concert. I saw her at the beginning of
Oh,
July and that was so much fun. I have loved Kesha since she first became popular when I was in high school and just have loved her ever since. Her music, her story, just her as a person. So, when she came out with her new music, and if you know anything about her, and kind of look up all the info because it's a long story, but it's a really cool journey that she's been on. So just where she's at now, going on tour, I was so excited. But I'm like, but who's gonna go with me? So I texted my sister Hannah, and I was like, hey, do you know, like, do you listen to Kesha music at all? And she's like, I think I've heard a few of her songs, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, okay, I feel so old right now. But then I was like, would you want to go to her concert? She was like, yeah, of course. So her and one of her good friends and I went, and It was a blast. We had so much fun. So it was just a really like um what would be the word? I don't even know. I feel like I just went and was not an introvert for a night and just like sang and danced and had so much fun. It was very freeing and very fun. So that was definitely a highlight. So,
That's amazing.
yeah.
From the pictures you posted, it looks like you guys had an awesome time and it looked like
Yes.
a really fun concert.
It was. And the openers, like usually openers are just kind of like whatever, but they just set the mood and it was fun. Like it just the venue, the Kia Forum in near LA was really cool. So just the whole experience was a lot of fun. So that was a highlight for sure. But
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Sounds
yeah,
like we had good summers
we did.
and now we're back at it with
Uh-huh.
school year and
Yes.
whatnot.
Real life.
Real life. Yep. All right. So now the would you rather. So this is sort of still summer themed. So imagine you're at a pool party. And as I was saying that line in my head, I'm like, why would we be at a pool
That
party?
was my first thing.
Anyway, but just pretend we are.
Right.
So would you rather announce to everyone, attention, I am going to do a dive now and
Oh.
do it, or not say anything, but just run and jump in to do a cannonball and yell, cannonball.
I would do the cannonball simply because I don't physically think I know how to dive anymore. Feel like that one's a little less. Yeah, I think I would have to go with that. And not announcing myself, I think would be a little bit less uncomfortable. But again, wouldn't I'm picturing it in this summer. Our whole family went to a pool together. I think that
Uh-huh.
was the same pool that your parents have in their little condo complex. And we went a lot growing up. So that was a
Yes.
fun part of my summer too, was it felt like, oh, we're all at the pool again. But I'm
Yeah.
picturing it in context of that. But I'm like with actual other people that aren't my family. Yeah, I still think the cannonball. Yep. What would you do?
The cannonball
Yeah,
because you can be silly with a cannonball and people will be like, oh, wow, she's crazy. As
that's true.
opposed to attention, everyone. And then everyone's watching you. And then you say you're going to dive. And so
Hmm.
they're going to expect something great.
Yes. And honestly, that situation is a great segue
Oh
into
my gosh.
our, look at that, tying it together. What we're going to be talking
Wow.
about today.
So I thought it would be fun to talk about, well, I don't know, it's not fun to be in this situation, but uh, we talk about secondhand embarrassment.
Mhm.
So as introverts, when the situation is in our control, we usually avoid those situations or that kind of thing because we just are non-confrontational and we just want to get away from it. But sometimes you can't control the situation you're in and you have to endure it. And so I thought, let's think of some examples of just real world examples of things that cause you secondhand embarrassment that you wish you could just slide under the table or just melt into the wall,
Hmm.
but you can't. You have to be there to
Yes.
face it.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, so yeah, so we just kind of have some random places that this happens. Let's start with, I think we can both think of examples, but let's start with restaurants. So say you're with
Yes.
a group of people and you're going out to a restaurant.
Okay. We
So
just talked.
yeah,
Oh
go
yeah, I was
ahead.
gonna say we just talked about this because we went to a restaurant together and
Yes, we
Amy
did.
wonderfully did the correct thing in this situation. Well, maybe to some people. Um, but being in a situation where something is wrong with someone's order, and I think there's two different categories here because there's, hey, I ordered this thing and you gave me the wrong thing.
Mhm.
That's fair. If it's me, I'm still gonna eat it because that's just me. But when someone is really upset about it, again, there's a little bit of like, okay, that's fair, they gave you the wrong thing. But also there's a way to do it, I think. But then there's you go out to lunch dinner with someone and they have a super specific particular order and all these modifications. I get if you can change a little thing here or there, cool. But in my mind, the menu is there for a reason. Either order something you like or order something else. But when they have this huge, complicated, I want this extra crispy and this on the side and this not here and all of that. And then they get it, and one of those many things is not perfect, and they get upset at the wait staff and make it a whole thing, and Lord forbid, send it back. Like, oh my gosh, I again crawl under the table. I'm out. But yeah,
It's so cringy. Yeah.
yeah,
So Abby was referring to I
yes.
had ordered a cheese enchilada with red sauce. And when the waiter brought it to me, it was green sauce. But I was like, you know what? I am not going to say anything because maybe he
No,
didn't hear me.
what you immediately did is like leaned in and whispered to me, I ordered red sauce, but they gave me green sauce. But the green sauce is fine. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. You immediately were like, I'm not going to be that person. Don't worry. I'm just going to eat my food.
Because I would just be like, I mean, I guess that's not a totally embarrassing thing to send back, but I don't know. I've just been in situations where people modify their order
Yes.
so much. And first, in the first place, I agree with you. Like, order something else or make that thing at home. You know, when you
Hmm.
go to a restaurant, you can look at menus online. You
Yep.
know ahead of time what things they offer. Like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
plan
Yeah.
your
It
time around that. So
it feels
anyway,
too much. Yeah.
and then something always goes wrong when people modify stuff. And
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, if you don't modify a lot, I don't know. And then
Agree.
yeah, and then I feel like they make the wait staff feel bad, like it was their fault. I mean, they're just bringing the plate out.
Yep.
They didn't necessarily do the thing in the back.
Yes.
And I don't know. It's just like you can't, you're just at the table with the person and you're just
Yes.
like,
And I feel the need of like, it's not me. I promise everything is fine. Everything is
yes.
great. I love my food. Please don't think that I'm the problem. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I have once though. I was at dinner, and this was like right when things opened up after COVID. It's at our favorite restaurant. We go all the time. Like,
Uh-huh.
Randall and I feel so cool. Like, there's one waitress that always, even if we're not in her section, she always is our waitress. Like, they know us.
Oh,
It's
I
cool.
love that.
Um, but so it was outside, like they had tents. Again, this was like post-COVID. What are we doing?
Yes.
And we're sitting there. I was with my in-laws, and the table next to us it looked like these two couples. They complained the entire time about every little thing and about how long it took. Mind you, one of these people ordered like their huge steak, like well done. So I'm like, okay, well, that was on you. And it was this younger waiter who I think was new. I mean, they were just the whole time. And I'm sitting there just like, I'm so embarrassed for you. Why are you not embarrassed for yourself? To the point that when we left, I went in and gave that waiter a tip because I'm like, I'm sure that those people didn't tip you and you deserve a huge tip for what you had to deal with. So I was like, I'm so sorry on their behalf that like here's $20. Like it was just oh, it was so uncomfortable. But yeah, you're stuck and you can't. I'm not going to be like, excuse you, be nice to your waiter, but
I know.
we're all there in the restaurant outside of the restaurant. We can all hear you. Like, oh,
Yeah.
so uncomfortable.
Yeah. And some people think that they expect like the red carpet to be rolled out for them. And that's not their person's job to be like, oh, let me just,
Yeah.
gush over you. They're just doing their job. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, they should be, you know, helpful and doing their
Yeah.
job, but like they don't owe you like, I don't know,
Yeah.
the world. And
Totally.
it's just the way some people act like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's super
Yes, that
embarrassing.
it
And
is.
I am the least, I have the least modifications in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's for a reason.
Yep. Yep.
And hey, if there's something that I just, like I don't like capers, if I see something with capers, I'm not going to order it without capers. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not going to order it. I'm just going to get
Mm-hmm.
something else because I take a risk of them forgetting. And then I am not
Yep.
going to make a big deal if that happens. So
Yeah.
yes,
But yeah,
that's a
no,
big one for me.
that is a big one. Totally. I think because we both love food so much, restaurants are our happy place. And if someone messes with that, oh man, yeah.
And I find even if I'm in, with my family and there's not anything wrong. I feel like I'm always like overcompensating in my niceness for the waiters because I feel bad because I feel like
Yes.
there's probably some jerk in here who's treating them bad. So I'm going to make sure they know that this is a safe place and we're thankful and
For the
like,
cool table. Yeah.
yes, yes, overly.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's I
Uh,
feel like so many situations in restaurants. But yeah, the awkward dealing with someone else being extra is so uncomfortable.
yeah,
So
I
what
follow.
so what do you do in those situations? Like do you if it's like a group of people that you know, maybe not people, because if it was like Randall, I would be like, stop, don't do that. But he never does
Yeah,
that. But if it's like kind of that mid-level friends or coworkers, like what do you personally do? I'm curious.
just look down and just wish I could go under the table. I'm not.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not confrontational, so
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Hey, could you be nice?" I don't know.
Yes. No,
Or
I do
maybe,
the same. And then I think I, like you said, kind of overcompensate. And then anytime there's interaction with me and that waiter, I'm like, oh, everything's great. Thank you so much. Have
yes,
to, yeah. Yep.
for sure. Yeah, I
Hmm.
follow a couple of servers on TikTok, and they tell their restaurant stories.
Oh my gosh.
And like I'll scroll, and I'm like, okay, it's like an accident. You can't
Yes.
you don't want to look at, but you can't, or look at it, but you can't look
Yes.
away. And so sometimes I
Yes.
listen. I'm like, oh, I hate it. Just hurts my
Yeah.
heart to hear the people say that. But anyway, so,
Absolutely. Yeah.
all right.
Oh man.
What's another
I
great thing to
think,
do?
I mean, a big one is stuff at work.
Oh,
And I think both of us are in jobs that we have to kind of just deal. I think of one specifically for where I work. So I work at an OBGYN office, and
mhm,
the layout of our building, if you looked at it from above, it's almost like a ladder. So there's like the front hallway where patients are coming in from the waiting room, the back hallway where all the doctors like their offices are, and then connecting is a bunch of hallways with all the patients' exam rooms. So depending on where you're walking in the building, sometimes you're walking down this super long hallway.
mhm,
And so I'm coming around the corner, walking down this hallway. I see someone else coming around the corner, walking down the hallway, but they're super far away. And I want to acknowledge and, smile and nod. But
yeah,
like, at what point during that walk, I'm like, I don't want to stare at them the whole time. So I'm like stuck. If I leave, then it's like I'm dodging them. So I'm like, okay, at what point, I like pretend to look at something and I'm at work. So it's not like I'm scrolling my phone. I have nothing. So I'm like,
yeah,
oh, looking at the artwork, and then halfway, oh, hey, good morning, and keep on.
yep,
Oh, yeah. So that I feel like that one's again not huge embarrassment, but that awkward like, okay, I can't get out
yeah,
of this. How do I do this in the least awkward way possible? But
yeah, yeah. I know. I pass multiple teachers off and on, and like. You pass them once, "Hey, hey," then you pass them again, you're like, "Do I say hey
yes,
again? Do
so
I
true.
but if I look away, am I rude?" Like, you're just and I they're probably
Yes.
doing the same thing, like,
Yeah. Yep.
and then you kinda, like, nervously laugh and say
Yeah.
something
Hey.
stupid, and
Yeah.
then
Yes.
you make it worse, but
Yep. Or if I'm
I
walking to a specific doctor's office for something and another
uh-huh,
doctor is like, oh, wait, because we do the fetal monitoring. So we have to show it's like a 20 minutes, baby's on the monitor. We have to show it to a doctor before we can let that
yeah,
patient go. So sometimes you have to go to a specific doctor. So I'll be standing outside their office waiting for them to come out of one of the rooms they're in. So I'm just like standing there. I don't want to stand in their office because that feels weird. They'll come in and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm just chilling in your office. So I stand outside. People are always walking by and I just have to like, or if someone
yeah,
else, one of the other doctors is like, oh, do you need something? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, how do I
uh,
explain? No, I just need this specific doctor. Like, no, I'm
oh,
just standing in the hall. You're just
and you
stuck and
can't
like,
go away, you have
no,
to be there,
no.
and
Hmm. Yeah. So
that's
fun.
awkward. Now, speaking of doctor's offices, one thing that's secondhand embarrassment for me is like if I'm waiting in line to check in, or I'm checking in a station, and someone next to me is asking all these questions, and I'm not like knocking people. I know there's
Right.
questions, but things that like I go, could some of this be a phone call, or should they? And the things they ask and ask and ask, and I'm like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just get like so like, "Ooh."
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
It's
No, yeah, I feel that.
so at my work, I think secondhand embarrassment stuff that happens would be in the meetings. If somebody, well, first of all, if they ask a question and it doesn't apply to the rest of the group,
Yeah.
but you have to stay there. What can you do?
Yeah.
You can't be like, well, this doesn't apply to me. I'm gonna leave. But you're just like, I
Yep.
had meeting a week ago, and I had a question, but in my mind, I'm like, this only applies to me. And I turned to the gal sitting next to me. I told her, I said, I'm not going to ask it. And she's like, so proud of you. I'm like,
Didn't derail the
hey,
whole meeting.
I feel like I should have just shouted that out. Hey guys, I thought of a question, but I'm not asking it. So just
Yes. You're like, I'm doing everyone a service here. Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Or sometimes when I'm calling patients from the waiting room,
Uh-huh.
because our patients we see like every week through for months in their pregnancy. So you know them pretty well. Like you get to a
Yeah,
point where I open the door, I'm like, hey, come on back. You know, I know who I'm looking for. They know who they're looking
sure.
for. And a couple of things will happen. Either I call out someone's name, someone else stands up, and I'm like, no, not you, but I'm like, how do I communicate? Like, oh, no, I'm like, and I'm not going to be like,
Handling
oh, are
it.
you here for blah, blah, blah in front of everyone? So I'm just going to like wait till they walk in. Or I go out because we get different assignments each day. So we could be doing one thing or the other. So I usually do the fetal monitoring for sure on Wednesdays. So say Wednesday, I'm on a different assignment and I go out and it's one of my patients who I always see on Wednesdays and I go out and they see me coming out into the waiting room and they start to stand up and I'm like, oh no, calling, sorry, not you, someone else. Oh, it's so awkward.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but again,
Okay,
you're stuck. I'm like,
yeah,
what? I can't go anywhere. I have to deal with
yes.
this.
I thought of another one at work. Now, this isn't one I luckily don't have to be involved in, but I have been once or twice, and I know that other teachers feel this way, is being in an IEP meeting. And so you're
Mm,
with a lot of, you're with you may be the speech teacher and the resource teacher and all these people
yeah.
and the parent. And sometimes the parent might have questions and and I've heard this from other teachers that it gets tense and
Yep.
you're in the meeting and you you can't just be like, peace out.
Yep.
You have to sit
Like a
there and
legal requirement.
listen.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm really glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have before had to sit in, like, even as a sub, like sometimes they need a classroom teacher just to
Yeah.
be, even though they might not be that. And I remember
Just a
coming
general
to
education. Yeah.
sub, and it was at the school my kids went to. So they knew me well enough to say, hey, we just need someone in here. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm not even a teacher at this
Yeah.
school, sub. Let me just sit here and just be a body. I hope they
Yep.
don't ask me any questions because I
Yep.
have no clue, but
Oh my gosh.
that's a little bit.
Yeah. Awkward.
Oh
Well,
God.
I have a good story that's
Yes.
work related, and
Okay.
it was one of our submissions that we had posted about on Instagram. Well,
Oh,
it was a verbal one. I'm totally outing her. This is my mother.
okay.
And so she was in line. So she's a teacher. She's taught
Mhm.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they were in line for. I feel like she said maybe it was taking pictures for their IDs or something like that, where all the teachers from all the different grades are standing, or an
Mhm.
orientation. I can't remember, but they're standing in line. She's talking to the person in front of her. I can't remember what they were talking about, but my mom, being the, extroverted person she is, turns to the gal behind her because there's quite a few new teachers this year and says,
Mhm.
like, oh, asking, about her. And this teacher looks at her and goes, I taught your daughter history or whatever. Like she's been a teacher and my mom's daughter, my sister, was her student like 2 years ago. So it was kind of like, you should know who I am. And my mom was like, oh,
Oh.
and she's like the
Oh.
extrovert in me wanted to like overcompensate and try to make it
Oh
better and keep talking, but
no.
she just was like, I just didn't say anything else.
Oh man. That's
Like
rough.
that's rough. And whatever it was, I can't remember. She's like, we were in line for something, so
You
I couldn't
couldn't
leave.
leave. Oh man. That's
Yeah, I'm like, and that I feel like that's a big introvert extrovert difference because I'm like, for me, I mean, she kind of did the introvert thing, but I'm like, I would just like keep talking to the other person, like avoid. But she was like, yeah, everything in me wanted to just like try to keep talking to her and like make her feel better.
oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, rough.
Oh, that is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a good story, but
Yes.
that's painful.
Yes. Oh,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. How about uh going to stores? Like just, like it could be grocery or just any store.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that is hard for me is people in front of me who, first of all, like don't know where their coupon is. So they're and I'm just like, have it ready. I'm literally like, double fisting my
Yep.
coupon and my credit card. I'm ready to just look. Um, and then the coupon maybe doesn't work on their stuff, and they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like,
Trying to
read the
fix it.
fine
Yep.
print. Like some things are excluded, or they think something was on sale because they got it on this rack that says. And in my mind, I'm like, but there's like the scanners all over the store. Scan it because it's not always on the same rack. And you just got to sit there and can't go anywhere because you're next. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just very painful to watch that play out
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me.
Yep. No, I feel that. I feel like Costco is a big one. I don't know what it is. Every Costco I've been to, people just I'm like, is the reason the Costco parking lot's terrible because no one follows the rules of the road? Because based on how they're maneuvering their carts within Costco, I don't think you know how the right lane, left lane, driving, all of that stuff works.
Yeah.
Because I, this was like a couple months ago. Our Costco in Stockton, like you go through all the produce, you turn a corner, and it's a single aisle leading straight into the refrigerated dairy, the milk, the eggs, like that whole section. So, which gets super congested because then right next to it is the rotisserie chicken. So it's just like everything in one corner.
Yeah.
So we turn the corner. My kids do not like the cold. They call it the coldy room. So they're like, "Don't go in the coldy room." I'm like, "I don't want to." Randall always runs in, grabs whatever we need. So we
Yeah.
turn the corner. Randall kind of jumps in front to go grab the stuff. Usually I turn the corner. The kids like to watch the rotisserie chickens cook.
Yeah.
So we sit there and then he brings whatever he has to get. So there's like probably, I mean, squished, you could get like three carts in this lane.
Yeah.
So on the right side, there's people, there's more stuff. There's people like looking at that stuff. On the left side, there's an employee with a cart. He's stalking or doing something. The lady in front of me stops, goes to grab something, leaves her cart right in front of me. And
Uh,
I've seen that employee since. He cracks me up. He was just like mumbling under his breath all sorts of things that we would have to add an E on this episode to say. But he's like, "Duh," and just pushes her cart out of the way. And I was like, yes, thank you, sir. Like, because I just
uh,
stood there like, okay, now I'm blocked, and now anyone behind me is going to be pissed because I'm like stopping them from moving. Yeah, just that whole. I feel like every other store, people do a decent job, like Trader Joe's, super tight aisles, kind of a mess, but people are moving. It's just Costco, something you get in there and everyone
yes.
forgets how to do
Yes.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, then you think you don't want the people behind you thinking it's
Yes.
you. You want to go, hey, it's on me.
Yep. Like, not my fault. And then, of course, she's not there by her cart, so I can't blame her. I'm just like, sorry. Yeah.
Uh, I
Yeah.
I've run into this recently where I do a self checkout,
Hmm.
and it's late at night at Rayleigh's, which is a great time to shop, by the way, because
Hmm.
nobody's there. Um, and but I have to get ice, and they have ice in the machine, but it's by the door that's locked.
Hmm.
So as I'm checking out, I'm like, okay, they're going to see me heading with my cart to the door that's locked. I just have to get ice. And every time, ma'am, and I know they're going to say it, the door's locked. And I'm like, I know, I'm just getting ice. And so this last time, as I got my receipt and went, I looked at the person, I'm like, I'm just getting ice. And they were like, okay.
Calm down, lady.
They were like they weren't even, they didn't, like, I wasn't gonna even ask, but it was just the stress the whole time. Like, oh, they're
Yes.
gonna think I'm trying to go out that locked door, and
Oh my gosh.
but I need to get
Uh,
my ice.
right? Right? Oh man.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
have you
no.
ever been in a store where you're trying to get an item, but someone's in front of it? So you have to pretend like you're
Oh, you're
looking
looking
at
at something
something else.
else.
You don't care about it, but you have to act like you're
Yes.
interested.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yep.
It's just like,
And then I feel like I've heard stories where you've experienced this. You're just trying to lay low, but your children decide like, "Mommy, aren't we getting mayonnaise?" I'm like, shh, nope, we're looking at tuna, whatever is in front of us. I don't know, like, well,
Yes.
yeah, and then you're just like, just shh. Give me a
Read
second.
read the
The room.
room.
And they're like, "What?" I'm
Yes, no, they
like, "Oh,
did.
you're not embarrassed yet. That must be so nice."
Yep, yep. I know. That's so
Oh my
funny.
gosh. Or in like bathrooms or dressing rooms, and your toddler decides they're going to try to figure out how to open the door. That's fun. I have yet to be fully
Oh,
exposed, but I know it's coming. Jane wouldn't do that to me. Owen definitely would, and I'm sure that's coming at some point in my life. So,
oh,
oh, what I've started to do, like if I have to use the bathroom and they're with me and we're in a stall, I'm like, can you hold mommy's phone while I go? Oh,
oh,
yeah. And they're all excited to hold my phone. So I'm like, distraction, and you're not going to drop that phone. So you're not going to have a free hand to open the door. So that's worked for me so far. But,
that is great.
oh,
Well, that kind of segues into just kids,
oh,
and
mm-hmm.
you not being able to escape uh,
Yep.
that. And that made me, we were just talking about Costco, and that made me think of when Alex was little, I took him with me. I'm gonna out him on a story, but I think he's okay. Um, he had to go to the bathroom. So, when kids have to go to the bathroom, you got to go. You just,
Uh-huh.
so we went in and they had the blue water in the toilets with the cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in there with him. And as he's peeing, he's like, it's turning green really loud. And you're just in a stall, like, yeah. It was cute, but you
Oh,
just at the same
like,
time, like,
oh,
they're
yep.
just so like, they're going to be loud about it.
Everything
I'm
is, yeah.
telling you. And
Yep.
you're like, yep, okay, okay, let's
Yep.
flush, let's go.
Yep. Yep. Okay, I have a couple good stories about my sister Hannah. Again, just
Uh-huh.
embarrassing all our family members.
Yeah, well,
Um, but these are just great stories. So both of these happened to my mom. The first one, they were in the dollar store, and
yes.
again, no volume control, just everything is being yelled. Um, Hannah sees a diary
Yeah.
and has always wanted one, so she announced very loudly to the Dollar Tree, "Mom, look, I've always wanted a diarrhea." And my mom's like, "Oh, no, not what that is." But Hannah just couldn't. And she was one that would just keep repeating it. And you're like, "No, no, no, no. What? A diarrhea, Mom? A diarrhea." And she's like,
Oh
"Stop,
my
stop, stop."
goodness.
And then
They repeat
another,
it even louder.
yes. Well, this one's even worse. They were in Kohl's, and Hannah was so young for both of these, and she forgot what a hanger was called
Oh,
and was calling it a hooker.
God.
So she's, "Mom, look at this hooker. Look at the hooker I found." Because it has a hook on the top, and that's what she thought it was called.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
hilarious.
So
Oh,
again, my
Hannah.
mom's the queen extrovert and can maneuver out of any social situation. But even that, I think those got to her a little bit.
Those are rough.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Riley will be okay with me telling this story.
Basically, we realize this episode is making fun of other people and just complaining about stuff that bothers us. But
Yeah,
again, if you've
which
been listening to the podcast for this long, you know us, so it's fine. It's fine.
okay, so this I would consider secondhand embarrassment because, well, you'll see. So Riley, when she was younger at church, was asked to read a scripture in front. And so she got up, and she's my outgoing girl, at least when she was young, very outgoing, confident, got that passage, started reading. I think it was from Exodus or something. And she got to, and I think it was out of our church Bible. So we're all like following along. And the word she got to was Gentiles, but it was like sliced in the middle, like the syllable, like Jen was on one line and then tiles was on the next. And she so confidently said genitals. And you just hear, like, nobody said anything, but you could just feel the crowd. And I'm like,
Oh,
and in my heart, I thought, I was just like, so, like, I was scared that she would be embarrassed. I don't know. I
yes.
was just panicked as a
When
mom.
it's
Like,
your kid, it's a totally different level because you don't want to initiate the embarrassment, but you want to
no.
rescue them from it. So you're like, "What do I do?" Yeah.
Yes. And so, and she got to the end, and then she looked up, she goes, and it was Gentiles. She recovered so like a
Yep.
pro.
Yep.
And even our pastor had gone up, he goes, Amen. Like that's the sermon. But I was like, I was so like hoping that she wouldn't be scarred for life
Yeah.
doing that. And I know she went through some embarrassment, and I'm sure
Yeah.
people said stuff, but she can talk about it now, like,
Yes.
hey, I did this.
Yeah.
But I just remember as a parent, that was like so I was just like, I was worried she was gonna get like teased and how that would affect her, but
Yes.
she recovered like a
Yes.
pro.
She
So
took it on, and
anyway,
yeah, yeah. Oh my
so now
gosh.
it's a beloved story.
Yes. No, when you're yeah, today actually we went to the library, um, and I wanted to find some more like challenging books as my daughter starts reading. And so I'm
Uh-huh.
like, again, picturing this, like we're gonna go to the library and I'm gonna flip through some of these chapter books, find one that you'll be interested in and you can actually read. I like have this great vision.
Yeah.
Get in there, both of my kids decide to start just not cooperating. And
Mm.
Owen, especially Owen, he's running. I'm like trying to like I look at half a book and then I'm like running and grabbing and they're both in different aisles. They have all the step stools to reach the higher up books in the kids section, which my kids were like, "Oh, these have wheels. Let's slide around." Let's crawl. Owen's like trying to crawl to the top of the bookshelves and I'm like, and everyone else in that section is parents with kids. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's a whole thing with kids is and I'm like, they're being a 2 and a 5-year-old. Like, it's not the end of
Yeah.
the world. And
Right.
everyone in here has probably had a 2 and a 5-year-old, but in my head, I'm like, oh, they think I'm a horrible parent. But I'm like, in those situations, I'm like, if you are judging, okay, what planet are your kids from? Also, maybe you don't even have kids. Because I'm like, everyone here gets it, but you're still in that, like, oh, we're in a
Yes.
library, we have to be quiet, and I'm so sorry. And I'm
You're
like,
in it in the
get,
moment. And
yes.
so,
Yeah, and
well,
everyone's staring at me, and like, yeah, you get in that like spiral, and yeah, I'm like, that is all the time. When I'm like, really? They're like, again, he's two. He's a 2-year-old boy. This is just how our life is gonna go for a while. But yeah, that feeling of everyone staring and judging, and
yeah.
oh, that's
And
fun.
it's funny now that I've been through and been in situations now when I see that happening, I just feel for the parent. Like I just
Yes,
go, they are
yes,
probably feeling so, embarrassed right now. I don't
yep,
even like notice the
yeah,
kid going off because I've been there. When you've
yep,
been in the situation, you just can
yep.
empathize more.
Yeah, and I've even found like in like times that we were at church or like on a plane or somewhere where everyone's sitting and you
Hmm.
hear like a baby crying. I'm like, "Oh, you want to look back and like smile like, "Oh, it's okay." But I'm like, now that I've been that person, I'm like, "Don't look at me. Don't
Yep.
acknowledge me." I think some people are like, "Oh, they try." And I'm like, "Nope. Don't
Yep.
look. Don't make eye contact. Pretend like it's not even happening." Because even people with positive acknowledgement, sometimes you're like, "Oh, but you still noticed." Yeah. I
Yeah.
started not doing that because I feel like that just makes it worse. But
Yes, yes. Okay,
yeah.
well, speaking of planes, this reminds me when
Yes.
the one and only time I took Riley by myself, I flew with her when she was like almost 2.
Okay.
I look back at that now and I'm like, what
What
was
was
I
I thinking?
thinking? But anyway, we're just flying to, I think, Washington to visit a
Uh-huh.
friend. And Niles was gone on a trip. I thought, hey, this will be perfect opportunity. And I remember sitting in the seat and Riley just started swinging her legs. And, she's just a kid and she
Yeah.
kept hitting the chair in front of us. And so I was so stressed. So, of course, I'm like trying to hold her legs.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I'm just don't. I was so
Oh my gosh.
like, I
Yeah.
can't, it was just, I had to be in this situation, but I
Yep.
don't know. I was trying not to be like, don't do that. But I'm like,
Right.
she wasn't understanding like you're kicking someone's
Yeah.
chair. And so
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want to be like, stop it. So yeah, I
Yep.
just remember the whole flight. It wasn't a super long flight, but it felt long because
Yeah.
I'm
Oh yeah.
super
Like,
hyper aware of
yes.
that.
Yes.
So
Gosh. Oh man. Let's see. I'm looking at my, oh, excuse me, look at my list here. Okay, this is one that I feel like I run into. And this does happen a lot at work, but I feel like it happens outside of work too.
hmm.
Being in a conversation with someone and for whatever reason, they assume that you are on the same page and that you're going to agree with what they're saying. And they go
Uh,
into a whole thing, and in your head, you're like, no, no, no. But I'm like,
oh,
I don't know that it's worth arguing you, but I also don't want to agree with you and think you think I think that, so you're in this like,
yes.
what's the least, what's the least damaging way for me to state my opinion and then get out of here? Because, like, That would happen all the time. Like if I was when I worked in the hospital, like in just the general, not labor and delivery, but in med surge, and we went through a period where our IV antibiotics, you'd hook it up to the IV, it would run on the pump over, the 30 minutes, hour, whatever, and you
Hmm.
just take it off when it's done. Those size bags were on a national shortage, so we had to sit and big syringe full of antibiotics, push it over 5 or 10 minutes. So that's like sitting and just you're there right up in someone's business for 5 to 10 minutes.
Mm.
And they'd be like watching TV and they'd be making comments about the news or about you, and you're just like, no, 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 no. But I'm like, literally, I can't leave. But I also don't want you to be mad at me. So you're like, uh-huh, just smile and nod. I feel like that's again, the default. But yeah, that for me, I don't know I don't know what to do.
Yeah, sometimes people just confidently say a statement and you're like, oh, I don't agree, but I don't really want to say like, yeah. So I find myself like switching the subject really quickly or
Yes.
just like, hey, did you, just change the tone of it because I'm like, I don't even want to get into this or
Mm-hmm.
like you kind of know maybe you differ with someone on something,
Yeah.
but you just kind of leave things unsaid. But
Right.
occasionally they'll say something and so confidently, and you're
Right.
like, oh, yeah. So yeah, that is super
Mm-hmm.
awkward.
Yeah. That one's rough.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I another one I thought of is interviews. So,
Oh,
of course, as a person interviewing, it's horrifying,
the
but
worst.
I have you ever been on an interview panel?
I I feel like I did once. Did I end up doing that one? No, but what I'm remembering is when I was in high school, I helped out with like the plays and the musicals. I
Hmm.
did like the backstage management stuff, and we helped out with a junior high play once, so I got to sit in on junior high musical
Oh,
auditions. So similar situation, but yes.
okay, yes. Yeah, I've had to, I remember one time I got asked to be on a couple panels,
Yeah.
and it's very awkward when the person interviewing is not doing well, and I just feel for him because I've been in interviews before where
Yes.
it's you just want to crawl under the table,
Yep.
but you have to be the one asking the questions and looking
Hmm.
a certain way. And I'm just want to tell him it's okay. I get it. I
Hmm.
understand. Keep going, but you just got
Yeah.
to sit there and put on that,
Yes. That was
face.
me the whole time with those sweet junior hires because I'm like, I don't
Oh,
want any of you to feel negative about yourself. So I am just smiling like this is the best thing I have ever heard in my life.
yes.
And just like, you're doing amazing. Like,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
matter what's
That's
happening,
all you
just
can do at that
smile and be
point.
engaged. Like,
Just make them feel less like
like they're
they're
feeling. Yeah.
dying.
Yep. Oh my gosh. But
Uh,
job interviews,
oh,
I I like I love my job right now and I'm like, I could stay at this job for a long time. Also, that means I wouldn't have to do a job interview and that is such a pro for me. Like, yeah.
same. I'm like
Oh,
I
my
haven't
nightmare.
had to do many interviews in my life, which I mean, I'm happy that it happened, but I do think the more you do it, the better you get. So I don't think I've really honed
No.
a lot of skill from it, but I don't want to go through a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I'm happy like
Yeah. My very first job interview was insane because it was like they set it up and I'm a brand new nurse out of college and you're at the end of a super long table and the three managers are on the other end of the table and then getting to know
uh,
them after I worked for them, I'm like they definitely played like good cop, bad cop and neutral cop, like
mm,
so bad it was horrible.
uh,
And then I remember my two job interviews with Kaiser. I still don't know how they hired me. The first one, the gal calls me to do a quick phone interview. I was at breakfast with a bunch of my friends, and there's like five of us, and between all of us, we have like 10 or 12 kids. So it's
yeah.
crazy. So I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is like the job I'm interviewing. Can I? And they're like, yes, step out, step out. So I step out. It's glass doors. I'm watching Jane have a full meltdown, and my friends trying to like, it's okay. And where I stepped out, across the street, a freaking train comes by. So I'm like, train or screaming child. So I'm trying to just, I don't know how I got hired there.
Oh
Then when I was at
no.
that job and I did a different position in the same department,
Uh-huh.
it was which I don't know why I didn't just say do this on a different day, but they wanted to do it
Yeah.
over Zoom. So I was like, sure.
Yeah.
I was at the zoo with my family that day. I don't know why. I was like, yeah, I'll just go sit in the car and do this job interview. I don't know what I was thinking. That by itself, because she called me while we're in line, like, hey, could you do? Yeah, I could do today. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you idiot, just do tomorrow. What are you?
Oh
Anyways,
no.
so I'm in the car. I have like the background blurred. I've, kind of gotten myself together. I have the AC blasting because
Yeah.
it's during the summer. I've just walked from the zoo. It was. So I have my phone. Um, like I'm holding it up on my steering wheel. It got overheated and shut off.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, so then I crank the AC. I'm holding my phone in front of the AC, trying to get it to come back to life. It does. And thankfully it was on Teams, Microsoft Teams actually, and Teams is always glitchy. So I was like, I don't know what happened. The Teams just dropped and like
Funny.
I'm in my car at the zoo. Sorry.
Like, what happened? I don't
It's like
get it.
again, I'm like, what am I doing? But anyways,
Oh, that's so
fun
funny.
interview stories. Rabbit
That's
trail,
so
but
funny.
yeah.
Well, speaking of interviews, I was thinking about the interviews we did this summer and the couple times that my
Yes.
my computer just shut me out. And I'm like, oh no. Like, first of all, like, how do I get back in? But second of all,
Yes.
like Abbie's just by themselves with
And it was the
people that
two
are
people I
more,
knew the least. I
yeah,
mean, I didn't know any of them, but yeah.
yeah, that I knew more or
Yes, they were
accent
kind of your connection. Yeah. The one that I can't remember if I told you, but when it dropped, we were with Mark.
Uh-huh.
And I think because Mark had logged in so early, it made
Uh-huh.
him the host. We were laughing. I was like, "Oh, I guess this is your podcast now."
Oh, that's
And then
funny.
I think it happened with Matthew as well. And so of course I'm just like,
You
okay,
can't
make
go
make
anywhere.
conversation. And I'm like, "Oh, let me just text Amy." And I'm like, but what's funny is I know you're on the other end freaking out. So
I
I'm
was.
like,
I had never
oh,
had it just kick me out. And
no.
I just for a minute went, what, how do I even,
Yeah. How
what
do
do
I
we
get
do
back?
now? And as I was sitting there, like, and then it just blipped me back in. And then I'm like, okay, that was crazy. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah,
Yeah.
I thought of you.
Oh, I was like, I was like, do I just hang up and like, oh, mine glitched too. I'm like, that's just my reaction is like, oh, yeah. Oh,
So
that's
funny.
so funny.
Oh,
I feel
okay. So
like,
oh, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking of one because before this, Randall and I were talking. We were just talking about a bunch of great awkward moments in our
Yeah.
relationship, and we were laughing so
Uh-huh.
hard. But this one, I remember. So maybe this was just me in the early stages of our relationship because I was like in love with Randall. We were friends before we dated, so I was just like so happy to be dating him.
Yes.
There were so many moments where he would do something, and he's so like roll with it, laugh at himself, whatever, and I'm over here like super awkward, like when he would sing the wrong lyrics to a song or like make a mistake or say something. I'm like, do I correct him? I'm like, no, that's weird. I shouldn't correct. Like I would just like, oh, and then I'm like, and then it was worse when then he realized I knew, like he was like, oh, I meant to say blah blah blah. I was like, oh yeah, like having
Oh,
that like,
that's so funny.
because I'm like, I don't want to be like, no, you're wrong. I don't know why my insecure first relationship brain was like, I'm gonna correct him and then he's gonna break up with me after all this time. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I remember that a lot, just sitting and like, oh, pretending to not notice.
Okay, speaking of you and Randall, I just thought of this. How much secondhand embarrassment did you have when I gave you um the Randall figure?
Gosh. I feel like we've told this story, but yes,
I know we
it
have,
was
but I remember I was going to give it to you. He wasn't even going to be there. So it
no,
was
it was
just going
last
to
minute
be to you. And
in front
literally,
of
I
the
found
family.
out that day. I remember in the car when I found out Randall's going to be there. And the dilemma, I looked at Niles, I'm like, should I give this to Abbie in front of him? But it didn't take long. I'm like, yes, I
Yeah.
should. And so, what was going through your mind when you were
I
done?
like I was a good sport about it. I'm like, had it been just the family, because I mean, again,
Well,
I
and
was
that
in
was
love
the
with him.
original
That
plan.
was the yes. I would have laughed it off, would have been no big deal. Because I'm like, clearly everyone in my life knows that I'm just obsessed with this guy. So that was more, I was like, don't be scared. Um, but yeah, I was definitely like cringy, embarrassed. And one thing about me, when I get embarrassed, I turn bright red and I can't do anything about it. And then that makes it worse because now everyone's like, oh, you're blushing. And I'm like, I know. But yeah, I feel like I don't have a negative memory of that. I was able to be
Okay.
like, okay, this is hilarious because then it almost fell
Yeah.
back on you Because I'm like,
Yes.
if anything, I'll be like, yeah, it's my, crazy aunt. Why would she
Crazy
do
aunt.
that? But no, I feel like it was the right thing to make him laugh. And I feel like that was his first impression of you. And he just got a huge kick out of that. So that was good. That was a good move on your point, on
Yes.
your part. So,
I'm glad I went through with it. And now every time my family goes to Disneyland and we're in line for
uh-huh.
Monsters Inc., which by the way, they're getting rid of and may putting another ride
Oh,
there. So mad.
oh,
That's a whole nother podcast. But
yep.
anyway, every time we see the Randall
Yep.
poster, I take a selfie. It's just tradition now. He's probably
Yes.
like, but he always seems
Oh
to
yeah. Yeah.
appreciate it.
No,
So
we love it. And that was, I think, because my Randall's first impression of my family was already so special thanks to my little brother and sister. So this was when we were friends.
yes.
This was the summer after I had told him that I liked him. So I was already just super nervous around him. I was like, I don't want him to think I'm this weird girl that's obsessed with him, even though I totally was. And he and a couple of other friends from college came to our house and just like spent the day, hung out, whatever. So he was one of the first ones to come over. He comes over. This was trying to think. Ben and Hannah, my little brother and sister, were probably like 8 and 9-ish.
Hmm.
So Randall comes over, meets my family.
Yeah.
Not not exaggerating. Ben and Hannah run out and tackle him just to the ground. Think it's like WrestleMania, let's go. Nerf guns, like the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, I hope you like kids because this is happening like right now. And then Hannah's wrestling him. I had never noticed this feature on Randall, but she just looks straight at him. She goes, hey, Randall, your chin kind of looks like a butt. I was like, I'm gonna kill you, Hannah. I was just,
Oh, wow.
it
That's
was, and that was literally him meeting my family for the first time. So I'm like, if he survived that, the Randall doll is
is
nothing.
nothing. Oh, that's so funny. Well, we love Randall.
Yes.
He's such a wonderful addition to our
Yes.
family. But
And segueing in, he is my buffer for so many of these secondhand embarrassment. Like last week, couple weeks ago at work, I had like an awkward encounter with one of the doctors. Like I had to say, like he was like, "Hey, do this thing," and I'm like, "No, I can't because of policy, blah blah blah." So it was uncomfortable. And he
mhm.
was outside, and I'm about to leave work, and I see him through the window, and I was like, "Oh no!" So I literally called Randall. I'm like, hey, I just need you on the phone with me for 5 minutes to avoid a social situation. He was like, cool, what's up? I was like, yes. So he bails me out all the time.
Same with Niles.
Yeah.
I mean, I think now looking back, that might be the reason I married him so I could survive life. No, I'm just
Right?
kidding, not the reason. But he does, having him around just
Oh
makes,
yeah.
I can just literally like, I can be like Homer Simpson and he disappears into that grass wall
Yep.
and Niles is totally
He's got
fine.
it. Yep.
Okay, so then this leads me to a story about church. So awkward. So we had a pastor and his wife, and they stepped down and they were going to make the announcement at both services.
Mm-hmm.
And Niles couldn't be there because I think his brother was having surgery. So he had to be gone, but I had to be on stage, and it was just an awkward situation
Mm-hmm.
anyway. And they came up on the stage, made the announcement, and I wanted to just crawl in a hole, but I have to be there on stage. I'm one of the musicians.
Oh.
And I was like, and I had to do it twice. So that was the first service,
Oh
and I
my
knew it was going to
God.
happen again, the second service.
Oh.
And later I'm like, Niles, you weren't even there.
Couldn't even share my pain.
I know. It
Oh.
was so awkward, but
Yeah.
you can't do anything but just
No.
be there
No.
for it. So yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh.
oh, okay. So
Oh.
now I have a story that happened to you.
Oh
All of us
gosh.
at the pool.
Oh no.
This is when Riley and I just laugh about because she just didn't know at the time. So I don't know if you were in high school or
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
So we're gathered at the pool, and I think you came late. I don't know if you had something going on, and you came anyway. John was being a big brother and teasing you, and I think he ended up pushing you in.
He completely unprompted and unprepared shoved me into the pool.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I thought. And right away, I was like, oh, this was not a good move. Abbie
No.
was not having it. And you got out and you grabbed a towel and you're like, I'm out of here. Well, you had
I
grabbed
grabbed the
Riley's
keys
towel.
and peaced out. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Riley's too little to read the room and understand. And so as you're walking out, she's like, hey, hey, that's my towel. And I'm going, Riley, shh, Riley, no big deal. Just shh. And she just wasn't getting it. She was like, but she has my towel. And I'm just like, Riley, shh, shh, it's fine, it's fine.
Gosh. Yeah.
And now Riley's like, I don't know why when we talk about it now, she just
Yeah.
laughs like, yeah, I was not reading the room.
Yeah. No, that was not fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know. I feel like as an introvert, I think introverts are better at reading people, and I think we just spend more time studying
Yes.
people quietly.
Yes.
And sometimes, yeah,
You
extroverts
pick up
don't
on those things,
quite
yeah.
see it. But anyway, so I didn't mean
Yeah.
to embarrass you, but I just
No.
laugh at Riley's inability
Yes.
to read the situation
Mm-hmm.
and me trying to quiet her, even though I'm like, I know it's her towel. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that reminds me, my birthday's coming up. My
Yes.
lovely 9/11 birthday. That's just an awkward moment in and of itself
Yeah, I
because
know. Right. Same with
yikes.
Riley.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And my senior year of high school, my best friend at the time, very extroverted, very outgoing, loved to be the center of attention, which I absolutely hated, still do. And so for my birthday, she like filled my locker with balloons and brought me a Starbucks, like did the whole thing, which I was like, okay, like cool. And we're in one of our classes, and she has given me a sash and a tiara and a wand, like the whole birthday get up. And she's like, stand on the table so we can sing happy birthday. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine. Like, let's just get this over with." So I'm standing on the table, and in this moment, over the loudspeaker, the principal announces that this is going to be our prayer and moment of silence for the events that occurred on 9/11. And I'm standing on a table with a crown and a sash. And and I'm like, it's going to be awkward to climb down. What if I fall in the middle of this? So I think I just stood there because I'm like, what else do I do? Maybe I sat down. I don't know. I just was like, I was
That
like,
is
take your sash, take your crown. I don't even want the Starbucks. Like, it's not my birthday anymore. I'm done. It was
that is literally my
horrible.
favorite story because I can't
Oh,
imagine what you were going through
like
without a
standing on the
moment of
table for happy birthday,
silence.
that was painful enough.
And they're like, wow, this gal is a little irreverent.
Oh my God.
Let's get a wand and a sash and
Yeah.
the oh my,
So,
I
needless
can't
to
even imagine.
say, the next year in college, going through a whole day and no one knew it was my birthday in any of my classes was the best birthday
It was
of my life.
glorious.
Yeah, it was rough.
You and Riley could probably have a podcast
Oh
episode
my
alone on all the
gosh.
9/11
Yes. And
things
then
you've been
when
through.
I'm in a situation where I have to tell my birthday, I'm like, typically you just rattle it off with the numbers, but I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't like 9/11. Like, it just feels
yeah,
weird. But then I say September 11, even that is like, it's a lose-lose. And inevitably, I tell someone, like, oh, what's your name and date of birth? And as someone who has to ask a million people that every day, you just kind of blah, blah, blah. Um, but there's always a moment where they're like, okay, oh, okay. You're like, yep, I know, I know.
yeah. You know it's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
oh man, that's so
painful.
funny.
Okay, well,
Well,
we had so much fun. I'm
yes, and
loving
before I
this.
forget, we
Oh,
did
yeah.
have someone send us
Oh,
a
yes, yes, we got to read.
secondhand embarrassment. Okay, so it says, and I don't know who this is one of our anonymous things.
Yes.
Says, when the sound guy at church forgets to turn off the unmusical pastor's mic when singing.
Oh,
So all you hear is
oh
the
no.
pastor that can't sing, singing loud. And what do? You can't really go anywhere. What are you going to say?
You gonna tell your pastor to stop singing?
Right, stop praising the Lord.
Oh my God,
So that is super awkward.
that's rough. Okay, that I have one last thing. That always makes me
Yeah.
think of the opposite when you're at an event and someone's talking in the microphone and it cuts out and you're like, do we just start yelling, we can't hear you? Or do we sit in silence? Like, and I'm like, I don't speak on a microphone very often, but I don't know how well you can tell that's happening. I assume you can't. So Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or the people, okay, this drives me nuts. The people that go, I don't need a mic.
Oh,
And I
uh-huh.
just, yes, you do. Yes, you
Yep.
might be loud, but there's hard of hearing people like you do
Yes.
need a mic, and you're just sitting there like,
Yeah.
use a mic.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then,
Oh.
okay, the singing one reminded me another secondhand embarrassment for
Oh.
me, as far as like being able to carry a tune, is
Yes.
listening to people sing the most common song everywhere, Happy Birthday. And they can, and it's a hard song to sing
Yeah.
because in the happy birthday song, they get to about halfway, do it okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And then the happy, and then they have to go up a whole octave. That's 8 notes on the same note, but higher. Happy birth. They need to go to the same note. They never do. So it's always happy birthday every time. And when they start singing, our family looks at each other and they get there, and I'm like,
Every time.
it's very painful. I
Which
know
is
this is not
why
a problem for everyone,
if
but
you've ever come to a McCall birthday event, Amy starts every single time. We're like, all right, Amy, put us on the right note, even though we're all going to ruin it. And then there's my dad who does the Michael Scott version and just jumps up so many octaves and is screeching towards the end, you know. So that probably has made it much worse for you, but
and I know that's just
oh yeah.
not a common thing for everyone, but
No.
for someone, and I understand the struggle because it's hard to go from the low to the high octave. I mean, that's
Yes.
an 8 note jump. And then I think the same thing about like the national anthem, like the songs
Uh-huh.
that we are singing, they're sung at multiple things,
Yeah.
and the people who sing them usually can, but it's a hard song to sing. Like
Yeah.
I've tried to do it with like my students once or twice, and I've even had teachers like, "Oh, why don't you teach that?" And I'm like, this song is super hard to sing. Like I don't
Yeah.
even know why we chose this one because
For yeah.
the masses can't
Mm-hmm.
really do it. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
anyway.
Anyway. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, but this was
So
fun.
this
This
was
is
super fun. Like we had lots of stories, things that I
yeah, we
didn't
did.
realize we were going to talk about, but we
Yeah, here
did.
we go. Yeah. It was
But
great
that's the
though.
fun part of,
Yes.
this podcast, and I feel like it
Yes.
helps you get to know us a little better.
And
And
hopefully this sparked some of your embarrassing, awkward moments because we
yes,
seriously want to hear about them. Please put them on
yes,
our Instagram.
yeah.
We,
Tell us about some secondhand embarrassment
yes,
stuff that you have to sit through. Like as
yes.
I said, as an introvert, if we're in control of it, we don't even
Mm-hmm.
address it. But sometimes you have to be the person in the room that has to experience it,
Yes.
and that's just part of life.
Or the extrovert's perspective. I'm so curious. I know we've, talked to our family
Oh
members and
yeah,
stuff, but I would love to hear if any of these, if it's like, oh, I never even thought of that, or oh, that doesn't bother me, or oh, that bothers me too. I would love to hear what the extroverts out there think.
that would be interesting to hear if it affects extroverts the same way it does us.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good
Mm-hmm.
good thought.
Yes.
So all right, well, let's go to awkward moments. This is
Right? I know I had to save mine and not say it in the episode because I was like, oh, no, I was
oh
like, no, I got to save this for my actual awkward moment.
yes.
Um,
So yes,
so
tell us.
this was at work.
Okay.
So like I mentioned before, we do the fetal monitoring. We have to review it with one of our providers before the patient leaves. And one of the doctors he's one of the high risk doctors. They do all their ultrasounds. Two patients who had had ultrasounds were going to have their appointment to see us for the monitoring later in the afternoon. But he's like,
Mhm.
hey, they're here. Do you mind just getting them done? Because there's no one on the schedule, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, sure. Not a problem. So I'm getting them done. I send them both to him. He had mentioned he's one that likes to go to the gym during lunch, which side note, I don't know how anyone does that. I'm like, I need to eat my lunch. I don't know how you're going to the gym. But anyways, and so he just had mentioned like, hey, just let me know, blah, blah, blah. And I thought he had like already gone and come back or whatever. And so I'm messaging him about something and he mentioned, and I haven't even gone to the gym yet. And I was like, oh my gosh. So as I'm walking out, I see him walking like we're crossing paths.
Yeah.
Um, and as a socially anxious introvert, I'm like, okay, this is a good small talk moment. You can acknowledge, like call back to previous conversation, trying
Mhm.
to, fit into society. And I was like, "Oh, have you still not gone yet?" And he was like, "Oh, not yet." As he's walking into the bathroom, and as these words are coming out of my mouth, I'm like, "Does he think I'm asking him if he hasn't gone to the bathroom yet?" I was like, "No, no, he knows I'm talking about the gym." But now he's in the bathroom, so I can't correct this unless I stalk him. No, I was like, walk away. We're done. We're done. Yeah. So that was a fun. I was like as the words are coming out of my mouth and as he's walking into the bathroom, I'm like, I should have stopped this train. Again, moments that I'm like, I'm gonna go out of my way to like talk to some. Yeah, no, that never ends well. So that
And
was
then
fun.
I'm sure you never thought of it again.
I was like,
Those,
please don't be here tomorrow. And I'm like,
those,
ah.
those things just replay in your head over and
Mm-hmm.
over. That's so funny. Well, mine, okay, so my awkward moments, I have to write down now because I forget them.
Yes.
So, one of the awkward moments that happened was at a car wash. And I thought of it as I was at the car wash again, because that what sparked memory. I go, okay, I'm going to type this in my notes. Oh, this is so funny. So
Yes.
it's, I had, I like to try to tip when I can,
Mm-hmm.
if I have some cash in there in my wallet, which I don't often have. But
Right.
this time I had $1 and I was kind of embarrassed, but I'm like, I'm gonna give it. So they
Yeah.
give you the little towel to wipe down
Mm-hmm.
inside. And I thought, okay, I'm going to, when they're done, hand the towel and kind of hide the one, just like give it real quick so they don't have time to be like, oh,
Yes.
$1. And then
Yes.
just get out of there.
Yes.
So they give me the thumbs up. I
Mm-hmm.
open the door real quick, hand it out. Thank you. Shut the door. And then I just push on the gas. I want to get out of there. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got pushed back into neutral or what, but all my car did was rev really loud. So instead of getting out of there fast,
Mm-hmm.
I brought attention to myself in a big way,
Yeah.
the complete opposite of what I wanted to do. So that was embarrassing. So as I'm in the car wash again, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll write that down. That won't happen again. So, this time I had no tip, but I'm like, whatever. So I'm handing the towel to them, shut the door, press on the gas, same thing. And
Mm.
I'm like, what happened? Well, turns out when my car's door opens, it automatically puts itself into park.
Yeah.
Didn't realize
Yep.
that. So got to repeat that awkward moment for the second
Nice.
time. So that was
Nice.
that was super fun.
Yeah.
So
That's
now I
awesome.
know.
Now you've learned. That's so funny.
Okay, and then before we go into the end, I did think of something else, secondhand embarrassment. Um, is do you ever have conversations with people on the phone that don't have good phone rhythm? Like you talk and they'll answer and then you're like, okay. And then it's
Oh,
like you're having
yeah.
to, if there's some people that like I go, oh,
Yeah, I fear I am those people.
and
I'm like, I'm not a big person to talk on the phone, but I'm like, even in person, I'm like pauses and all of that. I'm like, okay, that stresses me out. And then over the phone, I'm like, oh, yeah. So I think I am that person.
it's funny. I just think about that. I mean, phone calls are hard anyway, but when you have to do
Yes.
it, and I'm like, oh, this person doesn't have good phone rhythm. Oh, it's so awkward. But anyway, it just popped into my head. So
Oh
anyway,
my gosh.
all right. And then what is your recommendation for this week?
Okay, so I just watched, okay, look at me, not writing down the name of it and not wanting to mess it up. Yikes. Okay, give me a second here. So I had um seen Apple TV. They just all of their shows and stuff, I feel like I've never watched one that I didn't like. So when I'm looking for new stuff, I've just started to look on there
Mhm.
and this is me stalling trying to find the dang name of this. And of course, I finished it. So now it's not on my recently watched. Almost there. Your Friends and Neighbors with John
Okay.
Hamm on Apple TV.
Okay.
I love John Hamm.
Mhm.
I know him from Mad Men, of course, iconic. But on the other end, he was a comedic relief role in Bridesmaids, and he was hilarious in that. And I feel like both ends of that spectrum, I just love. I love everything he's done on SNL. So I was like, oh, I'll watch this. Very much not what I expected. They kind of do it all in the first episode, but he's this super rich guy, goes through a divorce, loses his job, bunch of things happens. Now he's kind of trying to figure out what he's going to do. He ends up basically robbing houses and in this huge mess of all these complications. But it was so good and so well done and
Oh,
so many funny moments. And I'm like, I haven't just thoroughly enjoyed a show like that in a long time. So again, it's on Apple TV, but Your Friends and Neighbors was a hit for me. So that's my
okay. Oh,
recommendation.
I can't wait to check that out. I love Apple
Yes.
TV shows. They
Yes.
always hit.
They're quality over quantity, and I appreciate that because I
Yes.
feel like they end it when it's done. It's 10 episodes maybe max in a season. They're not doing these 22 episode nonsense and
Yeah.
yeah, they've just kind of honed in on what to do.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. All right, my recommendation is this one was actually suggested to me by my brother, Kirk, your dad. So it is a documentary on HBO Max, and it's about Paul Rubens, and it's called Pee Wee as Himself. And it's a two-parter. Each episode's like hour 45 minutes. And it is so good. Like I learned so much about Rubens that I never knew.
Mm.
And it was just such, I don't know, a deep dive, really interesting. I don't know. I can't even describe it. It was just so good. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I've always been a
Nice.
big Pee Wee
Yeah.
Herman fan. I grew up watching his show, loved his movies, but I didn't really know much about Paul Rubens himself and where the
Yeah.
character came from. And so it's just really fascinating to learn all of the background stuff about
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
anyway, I recommend that
Very cool.
HBO Max, Pee Wee
Yes.
as himself. So
Nice. Very
all
cool.
right. Well, there you go. There's our episode on
Yeah.
secondhand embarrassment. Hopefully, you don't experience any of this as you're listening to us, but
Mm-hmm. But if you do, tell us all about it.
yes, we want to hear. We want to hear secondhand embarrassment stories from introverts, extroverts, everybody, because we all
Yes.
go through it. And I'm curious to see if we all experience it to the same level of
Mm-hmm.
embarrassment.
Or the same situations, but yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. All right.
All
Well,
right.
hope everyone has a great week, and we will be back soon with another
Yes.
episode. So until then, have a great day, night, whatever time of day you're listening to this.
Yes. See you next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
There we go.